west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy. You fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said, chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every hard nitroglycerin. Get your heart, bring it back to start. I'll make you live again. Get them dividends. So we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Now but the domino. So what the fuck you trying to do? Rhyming chemical. This is funny until I bomb you. Bring apocalypse to the pussy niggas stopping shit. Team of all stars. I coach them up like a Popovich. The politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we go check them like gynecologists. It's kind of obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I'm music regurgitate for the audience. It's all the party. This the competition is fraudulent from the era with. Niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid. Shit's got a retarded sense. All the dominance. West rising the prominent. Cause I be one west to the death. To the bury me. I'm one west to the bury me. I be one west to the death to the bury me. I'm one west to the bury me. I be one west to the death to the bury me. I'm one west to the bury me. I be one west to the death to the bury me. I'm one west to the bury me. When a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I'm ride like I got group eyes for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 million Uber, 17 in the room, only need a few. Sit up in your medulla. I would gotta put the regatta niggas wildin' they win every dollar. They rock. I'm buying black dollars at the semi holler. The show's pop up in the top since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going up patrol premium of vodka. I put his features on the block, modify the chopper. The war heavy, and it's working mama. No marijuana say I got the loud silence on it. When I'm a golden ain't no rap. I do it like I do it. A lot of cities are right. Open the heat, so I'm telling them to get to the fire. With me, and I had a nigga feel like a tire. And I'm still focused on paper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Feels good night. And I'm winning coming through with the silence because I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Ever wondered what your home looks like from space? Enter your address and get a 360-degree satellite view of your home.
Yo, I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they want to bring us down. They want to see us win. They want to kill us all. Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
I'm every KKK. Land of the good, smoke so much place, and I'm trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam. In this darkness, it seems every life is a night. Man, cannot live my dreams on this earth since I was young. I realized I had a destiny bigger than the facial test. The sky's what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that lead to death. As a place to sleep and hypnotize the settlement. Thought it was my sin, but studied something that was new to me. They hate because of what my ancient ancestors used to be. Killers, teachers, deities, not all of them were kings and queens. When nature was natural, not supernatural. Ballet, call it magic and voodoo, that shit ain't practical. All of who's connected always want to learn that you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. The same snakes up in the garden, but the skin just shed. They'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. Just know you gotta do better for you. It's your bed. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin. But they wanna bring us down, they don't wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? tell me can I live? Can a nigga live? Oh, tell me can I live? I know they hate you deeper than the color of my skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live? Oh, tell me can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me can I live? I know they hate you deeper than the color of my skin.
Yo,
Can I
they
live?
say my rhymes cause too much excitement, ride incitement, shit. Well, there's no indictments for my kinfolk get murdered by a white man, dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded. So we beef with each other, all brothers, rather than fight them.
Hey, I don't give a love fuck what them bitches gotta say. I'm a one West nigga till they put me in the play. I don't give a love fuck what them niggas gotta say. I'm a one West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say, Hey. Oh, fuck with my argument, fuck with my sister, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna mention. I got a 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on the corner posting with the realest. If it's the same, then we going fishing. I'm really no man, that's a goddamn mission. I'm really on damage, I'm strapped in the pistol. I get the order to be glad at this mission. Hebrew Academy, graduate niggas, training, go through the baddest in this. I'm putting up with the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she gotta be with me. And if they put me like that, I mean, niggas, she mama, she gotta be listening. I ain't having that shit, go make some scratches, bitch, and if you read a black man, we do the back way. I remember back way. I was really trapping, trying to get the right straight, selling dope back man. I'm trying to get straight, like, get up out the face, we still no straight, can't hold us, so every go work on. So rank, I told you. Line up in here, so you can take the trip. Fight, we focus. How many times must we remind you? I don't want to play something. We'll never take a different place. But the law, which I ain't no up next. It's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't be bitch, that ain't no sweat. We with all that. We with all. Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh, Lord. And everything that they stole from us, but the shit we won't all let them niggas snitching in. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women in the public sex. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride it until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. I'm on the command and general. Y'all know we unaffiliated with them. Talking, they say they keep it to the 100, we unaffiliated with them. Telling lies switching up the time. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. We unaffiliated with them. I got nothing around with baby niggas. We taking ground with me. You better have to go in and have to live. You can tell me, please don't put the same. Don't be another nigga. Say you a fool, you just another. How you my brother, you ain't in the way. They gotta get down in the trench. We with them niggas locked up in the press. In this Spanish, Native American. Yeah, we in the shit, but we living in it. Beat everywhere, you can't miss it. And when you press hell, take a picture. And we press it down with the switch. Then we gon' scream, yeah, we kill these niggas trip. When they mind blown, but minute forget me a problem. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they feel. Look up a nigga to slide, off the slide. They don't know about the time, send what they go to the slide. I get the order, you know that this little see me. And my niggas gon' die. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get better by niggas, I'm better. By UPK, my niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got 9s, Ks, but brothers, you say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like bitch or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with me and my nigga like them niggas snitching in the head. That's why we unaffiliated with them. Killing women.
Let's clap it up. Let's give it up for Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who ate and we call Christ. Let's give it up for Commander General Yohanna, all the generals, all the captains, all the officers, the troopers, the sisters, and the young men. With the ISUPK coming out of 1 West Hall in New York, 125th Street, under Commander General Yohanna. And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth as so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of the Bible. Today is the law class. People are going to check in. I'll give them a minute. You know, I got one video I'm going to play before I get into this law class, right? This dude, Vocab Malone, that Captain Tazariak done destroyed in the debate. You know what I'm saying? Cut him down to piss water. had the nerve to come over to Jersey, come over the other side of the Hudson, and he was harassing this fake Israel group over in Newark. I ain't gonna reveal their name because they don't deserve no airplay, but we call them the Purple People Eaters. Those that know who they are. You know what I'm saying? And their leader, Nasty Nate, he done upgraded himself to a so-called general now and trying to say that his congregation is the home of the truth. Hilarious, but a lie. I'm gonna play this clip and show how Vocab Malone was scaring these Purple People Eaters off their own corner.
It doesn't say Ephraim's Puerto Rican in Genesis 49. It Ariel, the false prophet. You know that, right? Ariel. Remember he said Yahushua was coming back in 2000, but Yahushua didn't come back. Remember that? You know what the false prophet is, brother?
My brother, the thing is right now, you can't even eat it, right?
Okay, why not?
Hold on, listen.
Why can't I be here?
Yes.
Why can't I be here? Don't let me intimidate. You'll be debating people on the microphone with the video camera, but you don't want to do it now. That's interesting. You know what I mean? You guys gonna be at Broad Market tomorrow? Around what time? I'll come see you. Broad Market tomorrow?
I wish you would come over to Jordan Market when we don't care about this. Because y'all want to be out there waiting.
He was about to go there. All right, brother.
You noticed on
That's what we don't go. We don't blitz our churches, Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee with none pursue. Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee with none pursue.
No man pursue.
That's how it was the case.
Ooh, I wish you came out with music.
It doesn't say Ephraim's Puerto Rican.
I wish he'd have popped that on us while we was out there in the streets. That was hilarious. Yo, Vocab Malone is a hilarious dude. He funny as hell. He think he knows something. Now the other two clips I got more, but I'm not going to bring out that many clips today in class. But it does go according to law, right? Now, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're supposed to keep, follow and keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. But unfortunately, living in Esau's kingdom, we have to abide by Esau's rules of the land. You understand? And generally, rules apply. If you don't follow the rules and regulations of the land, there are consequences. Just like if you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, there are consequences. If you can, let's see where we're going to get started. If you can go to Luke 16, chapter 16, verse 7 for me. Got my brother, young man Munir in the building with me, holding it down. You know what I'm saying?
I got it.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Chapter Luke, verse 16, verse 7.
Chapter 16, verse 17.
Verse 17. Chapter Luke 16, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And it is easier for heaven and earth to pass than one tittle of the law to fail.
It's easier for heaven and earth to pass us by. It's easier for this whole world that we live in to pass us by than for one jot or one tittle of the law to pass. You understand? whether if it's a small law or a big law, whether if it's eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, or if it's something as big as fornication, sleeping with another man's wife. You understand? No sin is greater than the other, and they all are punishable under the eyes of the Most High. You understand? Slocky, put that up there. There we go. You know, that's why I say it's easier for heaven and earth to pass than for one tittle of the Lord to fall. Not one law shall be broken when it comes to these law, statutes, and commandments. These are these law, statutes, and commandments is solid like the concrete we walk on. You understand, Israel? These law, statutes, and commandments is solid like the concrete we walk on. When you get a chance, go to Romans 7 and 12 for me next. Israel, we got to understand something. Without these law, statutes, and commandments, how can we ever have structure and order? You understand? When it comes to these laws, there you go. When it comes to these law, statutes, and commandments, it's imperative that we keep these law, statutes, and commandments, because with the law, statutes, and commandments comes the high holy days, comes the Sabbath service, comes the high holy days and holy convocations of the Most High. If we can keep the law, statutes, and commandments, then we can keep his holy convocations and we can keep his traditions. You understand? All this is pertinent to our survival, because without structure and order, all we have is chaos. Let me know whenever you got that precept ready.
Okay, Romans what?
It's the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 12.
Got it.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay, Romans chapter 7, verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy.
The law is holy. Holy meaning separate. You understand, Israel? These laws are separate from the laws that Esau gives us to sustain his land, which are all against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to begin with. All right, read it again from the top.
Romans chapter 7, verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandments are holy, and just and good.
These laws and commandments are holy, meaning separate from white man's law. These commandments is separate from white man's law. You understand? And they're just and they're good. These law, statutes, and commandments are only good and just for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They don't apply to no other nation other than Israel. These law, statutes, and commandments is for strictly the 12 tribes of Israel. I pray y'all understand. All right, when you get a chance, I need you to go to Acts, the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. It's very important that we keep these law, statutes, and commandments, Israel, because without the law, statutes, and commandments, we fail. And if we fail, we fall. Now, don't get it twisted. It do say in the scriptures that a just man falls 7 times and get up 8. But that's in terms of when he's fighting those demons, trying to shed himself of the world. You understand? He's trying to become the new him and destroy the old him. So that, because in order for it's like this, you can't put new wine in an old bottle or put old wine in a new bottle. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. You have to create new wine. You have to become new wine in a new bottle, meaning you're the wine and your body is the bottle. You understand? You have to fill your bottle with good and brand new wine, meaning these law, statutes, and commandments. Let me know when you got it.
Right.
Acts chapter 5, verse 29.
Right. Acts chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
Even Peter and the apostles said, I think it's better if we follow and obey the Most High instead of following these laws of these Romans and these Greeks. You understand? Yes, we may face death, but you know what? I'd rather die than follow these white man's laws. Just like in the Maccabees, in the first chapter of Maccabees, this righteous ass sister told her sons to gird up their loins and die rather than eat a piece of pork. And each one of her sons sat up there and stepped up to that Roman king and told him, I will not eat this pork. And they done ripped his limbs off, cut his tongue out, dismembered him and everything. And the next brother stepped up and said, you're going to have to do me worse than my brother. I ain't eating no damn pork. F you. I'm paraphrasing. But each brother sacrificed themselves down to the mother. And she girded up her loins and told the king, I'm not eating none of that swine. I'd rather die than disrespect the Most High. I'd rather die than transgress against the Most High. You understand? That's how important these laws, statutes, and commandments is. This is how important the Most High is. Peter even said, I think it's best if we obey God's law than laws of man, because God made man in the first place. So why would we follow the creation and not the creator? That's why I don't understand these Christians when they sit there and say they love God, but they worship money. They love God, but they worship weed. They love God, but they worship fornication. These girls will sin Monday through Saturday and then twerk for the Lord on Sunday in church. Like, it makes no sense, and it makes them hypocrites because they sit there and say they holy rollers and oh, not my Jesus and God know my heart and all of this. But y'all don't even follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And not only that, even if you was going to church faithfully, you're not paying 10% when you pay tithes. You put in there what you want to put in there. You doing no better than render unto Caesar what is his. You ain't no different from serving the white man going to the Christian church or the Muslim mosque, banging your head 30 times a day, thinking you're gonna get closer to God by worshiping a goddamn rock. The nerve of you Negroes. It's sad. But like I said, it said, then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. I put it like this. Man could just unalive you physically. The Most High can remove you physically and spiritually from this earth. He's the only one that's capable of doing so. He could remove you from this earth and allow you not to come back. He could just allow your spirit to just dwell. Then what? You gonna be like a demon? To where he got end up casting you inside of a pig or something? I'm trying to remember which story was that, where the brother had a demon on him, and he asked the Most High, can you help cast this demon out of me and put it in a pig? Because Yahushua approached the brother that had the demon on him, and he was talking to the demon, and the demon said, "Don't do me like that.
Permit me to run into the herd along swine.
Yeah, put me in the pig. Don't leave me in limbo. Don't do me like that, Lord." Got the demon pleading like, "Don't do me like that, Lord. Put me in that animal right there. Let me do him." And he took that pig. He cast him into that pig, and that pig went right in the water. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. All right, where we gonna go next? Let's see. Go to John, chapter 1, verse 17. That's why, like I said, it's very important that we learn these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? We have to, it's no different from when you're growing up in a household and your mama and your daddy give you rules and regulations, and they tell you when you do good, you get rewarded. You know what I'm saying? Because like we say in the world, stupid people that do dumb things get dumb prizes. You understand? When you sitting here transgressing against the Most High, you're going to get rewarded. I don't know if you want that reward. Unfortunately, somebody left this earth not too long ago, and I tried to plead with that brother and try to give him a chance to turn his life around, but he didn't want to listen, and the Most High pulled up on him. And people don't understand, when the Most High pull up on you, there's no talking, there's nothing to talk about. It's over after that. Once the Most High pull up on you, you're done. So what are we going to do, Israel? We're going to sit here and BS around and wait for the Most High to pull up on us, and then sit there and get on your knees and plead and say and pray and say, "Oh, I was with you all this time, Lord. Give me a chance. Give me a chance." He's going to tell you, I gave you a chance when I gave you a grace period. I played with my father to give you a grace period, and you squandered it. You squandered it because you wanted to get high. You wanted to party. You wanted to do all this nonsense under the sun like they did in the city of Sodom, thinking I could do it later. You understand? We have a saying, right? Why put off tomorrow what you could do today? If you can at least start today, why not do it today? That's all part of learning and living these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. You got that precept? All right, let's get to it.
John chapter 1, verse 17. For the law was given by Moses.
By who?
By Moses.
The law was given to Moses by the Most High. You know what I'm saying? These Christians don't even realize that. I'll do you one better. These Ashkenazi, these so-called Jewish, they sit there and say they follow the 5 books of Moses, right? So if they follow the first 5 books of Moses, that means they following a nigga. Let's call a spade a spade. Moses is a nigga. So you gonna sit there and try to say shun us, but turn around and still follow us at the same time. Y'all hypocrites. Continue.
But grace and truth came by Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ pled with the Most High, his Father, our Father who art in heaven, right? And he prayed to give us time. He sacrificed his own life to give us a grace period to get it together, to get our ish together. We were given a grace period to stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, to stop getting high, to stop disrespecting and violating one another, to stop being whoremongers and making whores of our sisters, for our sisters to stop being harlots and whores and dark magicians with fake everything, fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake nose, fake lips, fake face, fake breasts, fake ass, fake everything. Did you know that these women that be on IG was getting they floating rib removed so they could look like they ain't got no waist?
You getting a what?
That floating rib?
What's a floating? I don't know what floating.
When you got your rib cage, there's a rib that's considered the floating rib in your rib cage, where it's there. It's part of your rib cage, but it's not connected to your spine.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? It's called the floating rib. That's what fighters got to be mindful for when they take body shots, because that's the easiest rib that can get broken.
Okay. And you take that rib and move it out.
And these women will get that rib removed to
make their
waist swell. Yup. For that hourglass figure when they get that BBL. That's where they get the butt and the breast lift. Like and they think, and they be on platforms like Fresh and Fit, right? And try to make it seem like this is what men want, when actual men are saying out their mouth, that's not what we want. Y'all trying to sit there and say that's what we want, but that's not what we want. We want the complete opposite. We want natural beauty. We want to see how you look with no makeup on, with the body that the Lord gave you, that you was born with. You know what? So what, you got an A cup? I like little breasts. I don't discriminate. You know what I'm saying? So what, you ain't got a big large butt? That's okay. I could work with that back there. I love all women. I don't discriminate. I love them short, love them tall, from big bones to featherweights. You understand? Like us in the UPK, we don't discriminate. We'll take you. We'll work with that. You got a pancake, we'll pay patty cake. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If we got a large one, we're gonna work it out. We're gonna part that like the Red Sea and get up in there, you know. But these women got this fixation that that's what men want, but they to the point where they do all this stuff for men, but at the same time are unapproachable. They're the main transgressors of the law. They worse than Eve. Eve just got beguiled and didn't listen to Adam and ate from that got the wrong information. These women took that and ran with it. They worse now. Think about it. Getting augmentation to your body is no different from getting a tattoo. Getting your butt lifted, your breasts redone, that's no different from getting a tattoo, right? That's desecration of your body. They're desecrating their body by augmenting what the Lord made. You understand what I'm saying? It's one thing if you have a deformity and you get a certain procedure to fill a void. Like say you was born with 4 fingers, you know, and you get a 5th finger added to make it look like you have a hand. Okay, that's a prosthetic. That's an add-on. It's not augmenting what the Lord made. You're just trying to correct a deformity. You know what I'm saying? But even in the scriptures, it say that the Most High considers what we consider deformity is beautiful in the eyes of the Most High. There's a scripture where he talk about he had one of his children got 1,000 eyes. Well, one of his angels got 1,000 eyes. That's some scary. That's a scary sight. I don't pull up on me. I don't want to. I don't want to see it. 9 feet tall. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You look like you coming to take me up out of here. Mm-mm. That's why I'm glad I'm in the right place. And all this comes from us not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. These women don't know no better because their mamas don't know no better. And their grandmamas don't know no better. Because if these women had structure and order in the first goddamn place, they would have taught these women better. You know what I'm saying? It said in the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3, the aged woman likewise teach the young. Teach the young woman to be sober and to have behavior as if like holiness. You know what I mean? Separate from these white women, separate from these other nations. You know what I mean? Feminism was a white woman's problem that black and Hispanic women took on their shoulders. Because when their men got sent off, when their husbands got shipped off to World War I or World War II, they had to resume their jobs in the factories and warehouses. So they said, well, if we got to work like our husbands, then we should get equal pay. That's where that feminism stuff started at, wanting equal rights as their husbands. All they did was fill a void to keep the country going. Play your position. That's it. All right, they back home. Get back in that kitchen and go cook that food. Go take care of these children. That's what started giving women a masculine spirit. Having to take over the role of a man gave them that masculine spirit. But again, that was a white woman problem. Color women wanted to take over that, take that on with them, like that had something to do with them. It had nothing to do with them because we wasn't allowed to be sent to war because unless we were slaves, we was free. We over here. They over there doing their thing. We over here doing our Black Wall Street thing. We thriving and surviving. We good. We flourishing. We don't need them. As long as we kept our money in the community and kept the law, statutes, and commandments, we were good. You know how it's saying in the scripture, like, you know, we were the talk of the town in the gates. Like the story of Lot. Lot was a righteous man in the gates, meaning in the community. You know what I'm saying? He was an upright brother. He kept the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? As foul with his daughters did because they didn't know no better. His daughters is what casted him out from the favor of the Most High. Moab, y'all was this close to being part of the 12. Y'all would have been 13. Y'all was close. Because you gotta remember, Lot was Moab. Lot was an Asian man.
Oh, Lot was Asian?
Yeah, you ain't know that.
No, I did not.
The story of Lot is crazy.
That he had sex with
his two daughters.
I thought they created the Moabites, Chinese people.
But we come from the seed of our father,
right?
Because you got to remember when he took the 2 angels in. Remember, he lived in the city of Sodom.
Right.
The 2 angels was passing through the town, and Lot seen them and brought them in. He know how the town looked, and they looked like it wasn't with none of what the town got going on. He said, "Can y'all come stay with me?" You know what I'm saying? He took the angels in, and then the whole town came knocking on Lot's door, like, "Oh, what's up with them two brothers that came in your house? We want to see them." Lot like, "Nah, they good, nah." To the point where he offered his 2 virgin daughters, like, "I got 2 daughters here. You can take my daughters. They know not of man." They like, "Nah, we don't want them. We want the 2 brothers in there. We want to see what's going on with them." And it was starting to get hectic to the point where the angels pulled Lot in the house, and they told him, "Thank you, but we'll take her from here." And they went out there and boop bop boop bop boop bop and beat all of them up and said, "Look, take your family and get out of the city. We're about to destroy the city. If they don't want to go, leave them. When you leave the city, don't look back." That was that whole, his wife tried to curse God and turn back and turn to a pillar of salt. He had to leave her behind.
Right.
That's where that came from.
Question. Where did Lot come from?
We'll get into that in another class. We'll get into that. We'll get into that all the way into that story in another class. But let me tell you, when he left the city, he only got away with his daughters. Everybody else had to leave him. He had to leave where they was at, and Sodom was destroyed.
Mhm.
Now, when Sodom was destroyed, his daughters didn't know nothing. Like, they never really been outside of the gates or whatever, so they thought there was no other civilization out there.
Like Noah.
They was in the wilderness for a little while. They didn't make it to the next town or nothing yet.
Mhm.
They put a set up camp in the wilderness, so they looking at it like, hey, we got to be able to keep our generation going. We got to repopulate. Mom got left behind. We ain't got that whole city got destroyed. We got to repopulate. So what they did was they got Lot drunk, and they took turns laying with Lot, and that's how they started creating babies. Lot didn't know no better. He didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But they're the ones that cursed Lot in the eyes of the Most High. He didn't knowingly do it, but at the same time, it's like you still, and unfortunately, you're still guilty of the sin. Because they came from your seed. Now that's incest. Why do you think all Asians look like they got Down syndrome and they all look alike and they all got the same features? For some reason, y'all all look related, but y'all not. Yeah, that's the story a lot, paraphrased. But again, all that comes from not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. If them sisters just sat back and just asked their father and talked to him, he would have explained to them that there's other civilization. We just got to go to another town. Yeah.
So before Lot sinned, was Lot in the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did he learn the truth from? Did that come from Abraham?
We'll get to that. We'll get to the story a lot. I got you.
Okay.
We're gonna cover because we could do a whole class about the story a lot.
Okay.
I got you. But again, it really boils down to these law, statutes, and commandments, and why it's imperative that we keep these law, statutes, and commandments. I left you off at what we did, the book of Acts 5:29, right? We know we was in John
chapter 1, verse 17.
Yeah, read it again for me from the top.
John chapter 1, verse 17. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ.
See, the laws was given unto Moses, and it was passed down to Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who we ignorantly call Christ. When people was trying to sit there and doubt Christ and say this and say that, he told them, I got these laws from Moses. Moses is the one that got the laws, statutes, and commandments, and the stories about me. They didn't get that part where he said, Moses gave me these laws, passed these laws, statutes, and commandments. Moses passed these stories about me down the generations. He was talking about me. They didn't get it though. You know, they didn't get that part. That flew right over LAX. They missed that one. Let's see. Let's go to Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Israel, this is why the Bible is such an amazing book, because it's our history records, and it's the only living testament that tells our story, past, present, and future. This is why it's a good read. If y'all really want to read a good story, y'all should read Hosea. Y'all should read Job. I do one better. Read the first Maccabees. If you read the first Maccabees, you'll really learn some stuff. Hell, you want another good read? Read Bell and the Dragon. That was an awesome story. We might get into that one. Also, Hazahab taught a class about Bell and the Dragon. That was a good read right there. You got it?
Yeah. Romans chapter 1.
Chapter 13, verse 1. It shouldn't be that far. Chapter 13?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subjected unto the higher power.
Now, let's not get it confused, Israel. This is not like worshiping Buddha, Dionysus. This isn't like worshiping Allah. This ain't like worshiping Caesar Borgia. We're talking about one being that's the higher powers, and that's the Most High God. Go ahead, read it again from the top.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subjected unto the higher power, for there is no power but of God. The power that be are ordained of God.
We are in the position that we are because we have been ordained our positions by the Most High. The Most High gave Christ the powers that he had, and also further down the line, been given to Commander General Yohanna, and so on and so forth. This is why we have structure and order. This is why we have rank and order. Because again, without these law, statutes, and commandments, we have nothing but chaos if we don't have structure and order. Shalom, Yahbashim Yahushua Barakatah, Sardunya.
Shalom, Chris.
We reading the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1, sir. Again, read again from the top.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subjected unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that are ordained of God.
There's no power greater than the Most High God. You understand? Not money, not women, not that 3-inch slit, not the white man, not this land that they call America. Nothing, no power is greater than Yahweh, which is God, the Most High. You understand? No, not Trump, and nothing that they could do on this earth is greater than God. Why do you think that Trump trying to create a space force? Like, where do you think that comes from? They don't understand how the fourth dimension works. They thinking they're gonna be sending ships into the sky, into the space, trying to thinking they're gonna fight up God because they thinking God gonna send Yahweh Shamashiach, who ignorantly called Christ, down from the heavens, which they think is in space with 200 million angels. Nah, they coming from the spiritual realm. When they pop up, you're not gonna see them pop up, but when they come, heads will roll. I guarantee it. Let's see. When you get a chance, give me. Let's see. Go to Romans chapter 7, verse 7. Again, Israel, these law, statutes, and commandments is put in place for a reason, and they're only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? That's why this book was made for us, by us, about us, because these other nations. I watch clips online about these so-called heathens. They be trying to so-called debunk the Bible and try to say, "Oh, well, this ain't real and this don't exist." They got to understand something. They don't even got to speak of it because it doesn't apply to them. But what they're trying to do is keep blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians asleep. And that's the problem in today's society. They want to keep us asleep because they know they're eventually going to have to serve us. You got that precept?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go.
Romans chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin?
What shall we say then? Is the law sin? Like, is it? That's what they're asking. No. But let the white man tell it is. Go ahead.
What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid.
God forbid that. The law ain't sin. These law, statutes, and commandments is of the Most High God. And we have to follow them to the letter. Go on.
I have not known sin but by the law. For I have not known lust except the law had said, thou shalt not covet.
Like thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. We don't know sin unless we know the law, because the law tells us don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster. Do not put the branch to your nose, meaning don't be sitting there smelling that bag of weed or lighting the incense, putting the fire to your lips, burning that weed in the air, smoking that cigarette. You understand? And it says, do not covet thy neighbor's wife. Don't fornicate. You understand? Don't be a whoremonger. Don't. And it also say in the scriptures, like, there shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel. Meaning our sisters are not to be made of whores and harlots. They are to be ladies and princesses. You understand? In fact, let me find that precept. I'll come back to these transgression laws. Bear with me, Israel. You know, that's why these laws is very important and it's pertinent for us to learn them. Okay. Give me Deuteronomy 23 and 17.
Got it.
All right, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel.
Meaning, we were supposed to keep these law, statutes, and commandments like how our ancestors was taught to keep the tradition of Thanksgiving, to keep the tradition of Christmas, to keep the tradition of Halloween, and so on and so forth. We were supposed to originally be keeping the Lord's Passover, the Feast of Tabernacles, Hanukkah, the Feast of First Fruit. You understand? The Feast of Purim. We're supposed to keep the Lord's holy convocations that's in the Bible. Not Christmas, not St. Patrick's Day, not Halloween, not President's Day, not Martin Luther's birthday, not Malcolm X's birthday, because these are all Christians that failed our people, period. Shalom, Lord of Christ, Marvel.
Come on, Lord of Christ, sir.
Just covering these law scriptures. You're already. Well, yeah, let me get that Deuteronomy again.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Meaning, we're not supposed to be whoremongers and make whores of our sisters, and we're not supposed to allow our daughters of Israel to date or fornicate with any of the other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. They're not supposed to be dating white men. They're not supposed to be dating Asian men or East Indian men or Arab men or any nation outside of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand what I'm saying? Neither are our sons supposed to be dealing with these other nations, and they're not supposed to be transformers, alphabet mafia. You understand? That's why I say not no sodomites of our sons. Our sons are not supposed to be lying with one another. You understand? Because the scriptures say, if a man lie with mankind like man lie with a woman, it's an abomination to the Lord thy God. You understand what I'm saying? Again, but we're lost. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're lost because we don't have these laws, statutes, and commandments in us, because we don't have the Lord in us. If we have the Lord in us, then we could begin to have these laws, statutes, and commandments in us, because fearing God is the beginning of wisdom. And to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments is very crucial to that. And brotherhood is a major part of keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, because keeping brotherhood makes up for, I want to say at least 200 laws. The 600 and some odd laws there are. Brotherhood alone takes up about a third of that. Fearing the Most High and loving one another as the Most High loved us, as Christ loved us, That's another part of it. You understand? And not abhorring Edomites and things of that nature. Like I was saying in the other class, it's okay to deal with the heathen. It's okay to be cordial with the heathen. It's okay to do business with the heathen. But what we are not to do with these heathens is to lie with them or to have children with these abominations. You understand? Yes, God made everybody, but God loves us and he hates them. Period. And we're trained to love what the Lord loves and hate what the Lord hates. And it's not that we hate you individually. We hate y'all overall for the crimes y'all committed against our people. We hate y'all for the sins and the crimes and the travesties that y'all committed against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We're not out here running around saying, I hate you, I hate you. No, it's not that. We love everybody. The problem is we love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and we show empathy. We have sympathy, compassion, and mercy for the heathens. You understand? Because it's saying the scripture, don't abhor the Edomite. And when they say don't abhor the Edomite, that also means don't abhor the it's right there behind your foot. It means like don't abhor the Arab man or East Indian man or Asian man. You know, they all fit in that category at the same time. Let me get 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Again, Israel, like I say, it's important to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments because without the laws, we are lost. And without structure and order, all we have in our life is chaos. You might have to go in the Apocrypha for 1 John.
First John,
Not regular John, 1 John. Yeah, you might have to go in the Apocrypha. We got a 1611 in here somewhere. I got to find it because the 1611 got the Apocrypha in it already.
First John, I'm probably not too familiar with the Apocrypha. It's in the front, back, middle. First John.
There you go. I got you. I got it right here. I'll tell you what. You go back in the Bible and get me Isaiah 33 and 22. I'll cover 1 John. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. That's right. If you sat there and ate a pork chop sandwich, you transgressed against the law because you sinned. And the sin that you committed is an automatic transgression of the law. The second you ate that shrimp, the second you stuck your rod in that white woman, was your transgression. Isaiah 30, chapter 33, verse 22. But yeah, it's 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for the sin is the transgression of the law. Israel, understand something. When you commit a sin, you're automatically going against the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High put in place for us. For that sin is the transgression of the law. There's no other way to cut, slice, or to break it down for you. If you eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster, you transgress against the Most High. If you sat there and laid down with a white woman, an Asian woman, or East Indian woman, any woman outside of the 12 tribes, you transgressed against the Most High. Sisters, if you laid down with any brother outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, you transgressed. If you got a husband and you have a side nigga, you transgressing against the Most High for having a side nigga. No, it don't work like that. The last nigga you slept with, that's your husband, period. And that's how this goes. Got that preset for me?
Yeah, Isaiah 33.
Yep.
34.
33, verse 22.
22. Isaiah chapter 33, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord is our judge. The Lord is our lawgiver. The Lord is our king. He will save us.
The Lord is everything for us. He's our judge, jury, executioner, our lawgiver, and our king. And he's the only one that can save us from this captivity. Anytime we was in captivity, our king was the only one that was allowed to save us. The Most High was the only one capable of saving us. When it says in Deuteronomy that we'll be put into captivity again, this time upon ships, and our homeland we will see no more. You understand? That's that's Deuteronomy 28 and 68. For we will not see our homeland again, and we'll be put into captivity again and put into bondage by ships, because Egypt in its definition means bondage. You understand? Just like America is another definition of bondage, another form of bondage, captivity, slavery. And all that comes from us not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. We think we grown. We think we know everything. We think we got it. If we had it, we wouldn't be sitting here suffering, strung out on drugs, strung out on alcohol, homeless, eating out of garbage cans, working 3 jobs just to be broke. You understand? Now it's like we can't eat nothing healthy. They done did recalls in Sam's Club, Walmart, Target, BJ's, Costco's, all the produce. Did a recall of all the produce. Half of the freezer section got recalled. 70% of the lunch meat that these delis got recalled. Listeria outbreaks. Produce got maggots and worms in it. Dude opened up a strawberry and pulled 3 worms out of the middle. Talk about be careful what you eat. I got videos that I'm gonna bring out for class tomorrow about the food industry and what's going on, and exposing the BS that they doing to us. You know what I mean? I got lists of the top 10 restaurants you don't want to eat from, and these used to be some of our favorite spots like Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, Wendy's, McDonald's. You understand? McDonald's and Wendy's got this thing called, and Burger King got this thing called chemically separated chicken. It looks like great cake mix, look like great cake batter, but that's what they use to make the chicken nuggets and their chicken sandwiches. It's chemically separated chicken. All they do is just break it down in pieces, bread it, fry it, and now you got chicken nuggets and chicken sandwiches. Why do you think chicken nuggets so cheap? Why do you think you get an 8 damn near 12 piece for $3, $2.99 from Burger King, McDonald's? They throw for $6 you can get a double cheeseburger, a 4-piece nugget, a small fry, and a small drink for $6. $5 if you get the McChicken. I wonder why the McChicken is $1 cheaper. We have to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. And this is why the book of Leviticus is crucial to our survival and to stay healthy. Because if we follow the book of Leviticus, if I followed the book of Leviticus, I wouldn't be diabetic right now. I wouldn't be overweight right now if I was keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. This is why I'm striving to keep the law, statutes, and commandments so I can live and continue to teach and help pull brothers up and raise the dead. Lord, allow it. I can get this weight off me, and I won't be diabetic no more. You understand? I pulled out videos about that. The medical industry thrives on keeping us sick. If we can be healed without surgery or medicine, doctors are in trouble. You understand? You remember that movie John Q?
Yeah.
With Denzel?
Mm-hmm.
That conversation they had in that lobby about HMOs and stuff like that, that was real. They broke it down. If you got an HMO, the insurance company pays the doctors to turn a blind eye and not test you. And then, and on the back end, during the fiscal season, the tax time, they get cut a check. They get a kickback for turning a blind eye.
Is that tying into why that guy killed the medical, the insurance?
Yeah, that was all part of that.
Okay.
You talk about the white boy that ran down on the dude in New York about the insurance.
Yeah, not justifying the murder.
No, not justifying the unalignment, but yeah, because he wasn't getting proper health care coverage. or somebody in his family wasn't getting the proper healthcare coverage because they passed away. You understand? My mother's boyfriend, he didn't have no insurance. His sisters had to fill out paperwork just so he could die in peace. They ain't even want his ashes. We'll get into that later. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? They ain't even tell his mother. If it wasn't for my mother telling his mother, again, stuff like this happens because we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. If we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, we'll be in the Lord's favor. And maybe when we pray, it's a legit prayer that will reach the Most High's ears, because the Most High does not hear you in time of desperation. If you don't keep his law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High does not hear you. The Most High does not know who you are. He knows who you are by your fruit, by the fruits of your labor. That's why the scriptures say, prove thy works, show thy works. In order to show thy works, you got to be in it. Like I'm in it. You got to be in class. You got to be on that corner, prophesying to the wind. Food drive, clothing drives, giving out hot food when you can. You understand? You got to be out here doing it. You got to be out here doing it when nobody's looking. You got to be out here helping your people when nobody but the Lord is looking. Ain't nobody around to give you points of credit for that. You got to be out here helping people when nobody else sees you. But the Lord knows. You understand? That's what counts. The Most High gives you credit. And that's what it's about. When you get a chance, go to give me James chapter 2, verse 10. That's towards the back. I don't know if it's all the way back, but
Yeah, chapter 2.
yeah, chapter 2, verse 10. Book of James.
Got it.
All right, let's get it.
James chapter 2, verse 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all.
If I was to backslide and smoke some weed, right? I'm not just guilty for smoking weed. I'm guilty for all sins. What's going on, Mom? Sorry, thanks a while with you.
Yes, sir. I don't know if that was your end or my end, but we was having a bad connection. It seems real too wild now, though.
It might have been on your end. You probably had to jump out and jump back in. Everything's clear on this side. Yeah, we was just reading James chapter 2, verse 10, where it says, for whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend one part, he is guilty of all. Meaning, if I was to backslide and smoke some weed again, I'm not just guilty of smoking, I'm guilty of everything. Because if I'm liable to turn back around and get high, I'm liable to go eat some fried shrimp again. I'm liable to go sleep with a whore. I'm liable to do anything. If I can go back and smoke weed again, I'm guilty of all sin. And that's what that means. If you offend one point of the law, you're guilty of all of it, because that means you'll do anything. You'll kill somebody. You'll lie. You'll cheat. You'll steal. And you'll be guilty of all of it just from committing one sin. What's going on with you? That's your son. Oh, shit, he done lost connection. All right. Go to Psalms chapter 19, verse 7 for me. We're going to start at verse 7.
Got it.
All right, let's get it.
Psalms chapter 19, verse 7. For the law of the Lord is perfect.
The Lord is perfect, because and it's the perfect example, because if you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you're not sinning. And as long as you're not sinning, you're perfect, because Christ was perfect. Christ kept all the law, statutes, and commandments and became a fisher of man. So all the laws that Christ kept made him perfect. If we keep the same laws that Christ kept, we're perfect. It's just that simple. Hey, read it again from the top when you're ready. And it's from verse 7 to 9 when you write it down.
Okay. Psalm chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Now, when they say making wise the simple, meaning if you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you're simplifying your life. You know what makes your life difficult? When you want to be on the fence about something instead of just doing what you're told, because we want to do what we want. We want to please our flesh. That's why we be in turmoil and we be stuck between a rock and a hard place, because like, I know I got to do that, but I want to do this over here. Now, how can I do this over here and still do that? Can't. This is why the Bible don't leave no gray area, because it's either you do or you don't. It's either you sin or you don't. You know, we Negroes, we try to find slick ways to try to find a gray area somewhere, but at the end of the day, we got to answer to all of that. We got to answer to the Most High. When it's time for him to pull up, we got to answer for all that. You might have did it at one point and thought you got away with it, and this angel pull up the records like, "Yo, hold up, didn't you?" You like, Salakia. Yeah, forgive me. I can't lie. Yeah, I did. I did that. I did do that. Forgive me. I felt. You know what I mean? Like, I messed up. Forgive me. You know, and that's all you could do is take accountability, and you will be forgiven. But the point of that is to repent, meaning to not keep doing it. Don't make it a repetitive cycle of the same thing, because then your faith falls on deaf ears, because that you don't mean it. That means after a while, it's like niggas don't want to hear your salakia, because if you keep making the same mistake, you're not being genuine. You don't mean it. You know what I mean? Go to verse 8.
Psalms chapter 19, verse 8. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandments of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgment of the Lord are true and righteous altogether.
All that is self-explanatory. Everything about the Most High is pure, is right, is just. So if you don't follow that, you're the opposite of all of that. You're not pure. You're dirty. You're filthy. You're a wicked, disgusting piece of garbage. You know what I mean? Commander GEN.YAHANNA brings that out all the time about these purple people eaters and these other fake groups. You know, every year, Commander GEN.YAHANNA invites all of them to the Lord's Passover. When Commander GEN.YAHANNA say report, that's no different from when the Most High was in the Bible and he told all his angels to report, and Satan came along too. And this was in the book of Job. And he said, Satan, where you been? Back and forth, to and fro, along the earth like you told me to. As thou considers thy servant Job, like, he's perfect. But if you was to take your hand off of him, I could prove to you that he don't love you. But you have a hold over him. You got a hand over. You have a hedge over him. If you remove that hedge, I could almost guarantee you he'll curse you. And he'll tell you. And he told Satan, I'll remove the hedge. You can do everything, but you can't kill him. He said, "Con, I don't want con." And Satan went and did his job. See, one thing we gotta understand about Satan: Satan is a child of the Lord, just like Michael and Gabriel. You know, these are all his children, just like we are. We're all his children. We like little intertwined pieces that come together to make this chain, right? And once we all come together, like in Zephaniah 2:1, we look like a chain. And then when we really come together, we make this Magun Dawada. You understand? That means the shield of David in the Hebrew. We got to come together, and we also got to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. That's what it boils down to. It says it in the scriptures. His laws is perfect. They righteous, they right, and they just, and they good. And if we don't keep it, we're the opposite of everything it's saying in those scriptures. Let's see. We don't got to go to verse 9. Go to 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 8. Let's see how you flip right to it. That was Thessalonians. I didn't see you flip right to it though. You getting it?
1 Timothy
chapter 1, verse 8.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, let's get it.
1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 8. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully.
Meaning, we know the law is good to use if you're using it properly. Meaning, if you're following and keeping all the law, statutes, and commandments, and not trying to create a gray area or a corner you can cut, you're just doing it. It's not just reading the scriptures and say, "Oh, I'm a man of God because I read the Bible every day." You're full of ish. Period. You gotta keep these law, statutes, and commandments. And it's not just about keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You gotta live them. You have to love thy brother as Christ loved you. You have to honor thy father, honor thy king. You have to prefer one another. You have to prefer being with your brother over being under this white man. You have to prefer being with your brother over being under this woman, putting her on a goddamn pedestal. That's what turned our sisters into bitches, putting them up on pedestals, and then they get their ass on their shoulders and think they know every damn thing. But that also comes from us not behaving properly like the men that we're supposed to be. You understand? We're alphas. There's no such thing as an alpha female. That does not exist. You let these women with this masculine spirit, like your aunts and stuff, tell it. Oh, they think they was niggas in the former life. I promise you, they swear they is. You can't tell them women in your family nothing. And that's sad. It's sad. You see it all the time, and it's just a matter of them having that masculine spirit on them. It's sad. It's so disheartening. I feel for them. I really feel for the sisters. You know what I'm saying? I feel for these sisters because it's not just in your family, it's in a lot of families. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't say it in the physical,
Right?
But I say it more or less in the actions, how they carry themselves. I said you are hermaphrodite. You was a hermaphrodite. You want to be the man and the woman.
And it's crazy. I was looking at this interview. There's this chick that was actually born a hermaphrodite. She got a box and a rod. And they asked her, like, well, why did you decide to just keep both? I mean, because she got all the lady parts, so you could tell she was predominantly created a woman, but how? And Marshall gotta bounce out and then come back in. Exactly. That's why, you know. Yeah. Tough boy. Yeah. Those are just those freaks of nature. You can't do nothing with those.
Special.
Yeah. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1. Oh man.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
Keep some of the commandments.
Keep all of the commandments which I command you this day.
Keep the ones that I like.
Keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
Israel, we're supposed to keep not some, not half, but all the commandments. And he said, I command thee this day. Because if we don't hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, Deuteronomy tells you the do's and don'ts. Chapter 27 is just the beginning. Now we're going to go to chapter 28, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do.
Slow down. And I say we shall hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, meaning hearken, meaning to listen. If we listen, that means, and it says diligently, meaning if we listen intensely to the voice of the Lord thy God. Read.
Diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do.
Wait, that part right there. Slow it down. We want them to taste these words. To observe, meaning to pay attention, and to do. See, it's not just read the scriptures and say you the Lord's child. You gotta do. You gotta follow and keep these commandments in order for the Lord to know who the hell you are. Continue. To observe and to do.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
Some of his commandments.
All of his commandments.
Part of the commandments.
All his commandments.
Just the commandments that I like.
All his commandments.
All of them, Israel. All his commandments. Not some, not half, not a portion, but all his law, statutes, and commandments. Continue.
Which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Above some of the people.
Above all nations of the earth.
Oh, just the heathens that I like.
Above all nations of the earth.
The Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations upon the face of the earth. You understand? And we hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. We have to follow, listen, observe, and do these commandments. And he commanded them. He didn't ask us. This wasn't a request. This wasn't a strong suggestion. He's telling us, do what the hell I'm telling you to do. And I will set you on high above all nations upon the face of the earth. And if you don't, go to verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe.
Slow it down. If thou will not hearken, meaning if you don't want to listen because you want to please your goddamn flesh and do what you want to do, and you don't want to listen, hearken diligently to the voice of the Lord thy God. Continue.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
If you don't listen, if you don't do all his statutes and commandments that he commanded thee this day, continue.
That all these curses.
All these what?
Curses.
All these what?
Curses.
Oh, wait. Say it again.
Curses.
Uh-huh.
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
If you keep thinking you're going to do what you want to do in this world, as you see it crumbling little by little every day, you see Babylon falling, the Euphrates River drying up, California was going up in flames. I didn't even know they finally got the fire out because they couldn't even put it out. It was moving like Final Destination. It had a life of its own. We having natural disasters in diverse places. We got Donald Trump for president. All we waiting for is to hit the goddamn button. All this stuff happening. COVID, monkeypox, AIDS remix, syphilis and gonorrhea, super gonorrhea. We got ultra chlamydia. We got all these diseases and curses, and nobody
Don't forget about the flus, bro.
Say that again.
Yeah, don't forget about all these remixes of the flu that's destroying everything.
RSV and SWV and all this. All these curses is coming down upon the earth and overtaking them. And it's going to overtake the heathens, and it's going to overtake us if we don't hearken to the Lord. That's the whole part of these precepts. We need to hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God. And we got to not just read these scriptures and think we doing something. We have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. We have to follow and keep these laws in order to survive. We need to gather together, like I said, look, in the book of Zephaniah 2, verse 1, it says, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. We are the nation that's not desired. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the ones that's shunned. We're the ones that's spat on and mistreated and misguided and misled. We're the only ones that don't have a home. You know, I've been watching white people on social media telling us to go home so bad, they don't even realize that they made this our home. How about this? How about y'all go back home? Go back to your goddamn caves in them Caucasus Mountains where y'all originate from. Go back to being Vikings. Go back to your Pirates of the Caribbean. Go back to Portugal and Spain where y'all originate from. Europe. Y'all go back to y'all home. How about that? This ain't your home. You ain't from here. Y'all just live here. Y'all got brought here like we got brought here. But we got brought here in captivity. Y'all got brought here for a bit for a life change and career opportunities. And you know what? That's what they're trying to say about us and erase slavery from the history books. They trying to say we made a conscious decision to leave Africa and Israel for job opportunity. We chose to be in yokes to iron and shackles for this job opportunity and to not get paid. They trying to erase it out the history books, just like they coming out with books called Gay BCs. It's sickening. Gay BCs. Yeah, what they stand for? C stands for coming out of the closet and all types of garbage. Man, I'm still disgusted about that nonsense. Let me tell you something. And all this is wickedness of the world and the people of it because we don't want to listen to the voice of the Lord thy God. We don't want to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. And that's the problem that we're facing today. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten. Go to verse 24. We're going to do verse 24 and 25.
Okay. Same.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 25.
Go to 24. Go up.
24, verse 28, verse 24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust.
Meaning y'all not gonna have y'all white people not gonna be able to save y'all crops. You understand? Y'all not gonna be able to save anything this time around. Because Babylon is falling. Your crops is gonna the rain gonna turn to powder and dust. Your crops is gonna die. Your houses is gonna crumble. Your skyscrapers and your buildings will come down. You understand? Read.
From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed.
The Lord is going to destroy you. All you heathens that think y'all doing something by creating a space force, like that's going to do something against the Most High and them 200 million angels that's going to come down, knocking heads off like Top Golf, like they playing Top Golf, and y'all thinking y'all doing something. Go to verse 25.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten.
Y'all will be smitten. You understand? Swift death and destruction. All you heathens is going to get it. All y'all going to get it. The Most High got something for you. He got a party plan for all of y'all. Y'all keep thinking it's sweet. Keep mistreating us. Keep doing us dirty. Please. Because we putting the request in for you. Trust me, we got something for you. We got a nice little party plan for you. Read.
Before the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them.
Y'all gonna sit there and tuck y'all tail and think y'all running somewhere. There's no way you could run. You on the earth. The Lord created all of this. There's not a corner of rock or crevice you could crawl under. There's no cave you could go in. If you go in the cave, he's going to bring the mountain down. And you're going to crumble in it. If you go under a rock, he's going to bring the land down over that rock. You about to become topsoil. Period. You understand? There's nowhere in the four corners of the earth you can hide from the Lord. There's no way you can run. There's no way you can hide. The Lord is coming to get you. And if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, I suggest you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, or you going to get it too. Read.
And flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
You understand? The Lord is going. It's like back in those medieval days where you would win the war and you would take their top general and cut his head off, put it on a stick, and stick it on the outskirts of the land as a message to anybody that try to invade. This is going to be you if you come across this line, cross this gun line. Your head going to be put on a spit. You understand? That's how the Most High going to do these heathens when he send Yahushua Mashiach, who he ain't really called Christ, down with them 200 million angels. Heads will roll, Israel. I'm trying to tell y'all, but y'all don't want to listen. Let's see. What next? Where am I going to go next? Let's see. Let's go to 45. 28, 45.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28, verse 45.
Take your time.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee.
All these what?
Curses.
There you go, talk about these curses. Oh, these white people think they're in the clear, Marshall. They think they free and clear. They think, oh, Trump president, he got our back. He getting it too. He gonna get it worse. Because he leading y'all, dummies. Read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee.
These curses is not just going to come upon you. These curses is going to chase you. That's like that demon on your ear. No matter where you go, he whispering in your ear like, I know you want to smoke that weed. I know you want to hit that weed again. These curses is going to be on your back just like that demon. Read.
And overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
These curses is going to destroy you. He's going to give you a disease that's not in the book. They can't even name it. They're going to have to make one up. It's gonna eat your body from the inside out and make your skin bubble up like you got herpes all over. It's gonna destroy you. You understand? Nice and slow, like Usher.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead, Moshe.
Hey, sir, I know you heard about that that Edomite white coat that was responsible for killing them border patrol agents. That was going around unaliving everybody.
Nah, you missed that new special I brought out last night. This Spanish lady, found a 53-foot trailer filled with children's body parts and it filled up the whole trailer. And guess what? 7 days later, they found her chopped up in a suitcase.
Good night. Most High ain't no joke.
It was kids' limbs like scattered, heads, everything. None but children's body parts in that 53-foot trailer. Parked in the bushes behind the warehouse. It just, you could tell it looked out of place. That's how she found it. And once they exposed it, they unalived her and chopped her up.
Damn.
You know they was close to Mexico when that happened.
Right.
Because who else do crime like that? Who chop? Jeffrey Dahmer been in jail, so who chopping bodies up? Come on, let's be realistic here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We still got mobs.
You already know.
We still got mobs in circulation. Let me tell you, you missed it earlier. I pulled out a video clip that LaComya sent me. Vocab Malone, you heard of Vocab Malone. Captain Zariak chewed him up on debating many a times.
Some devil, Christian.
He found himself over in Newark. He ran off the IUIC off their own corner in Newark. and go to find out, Nasty Nate, he done raised himself up to be a general now. Now he's saying his congregation is now considered the home of the truth.
Good night. These lawbreakers here, boy. I tell you, these schisms of lawbreakers, man. Fake Israelites ain't nothing but schisms of lawbreakers, man. You
What was
brothers
the
and
other
sisters
what
go.
the other word you have for the scopers?
Yeah, scoffers. Scoffers. That's in the
Scoffers.
scripture, sir. Yeah,
God,
scoffers walking after their own lust with their own
God.
agenda. When you're walking after your own lust, that just means you want to sin and put your own agenda into it because you're walking after your own lust. So they will scoff us about what's really the truth for their own truth because they don't want to get rid of their demon. Salakia, sir.
He tried to tell them purple people eaters that Ephraim is not in Genesis the 29th chapter. Okay, but even for argument's sake, if Ephraim is not in the 29th chapter, Ephraim is still in the book of Genesis when they breaking down the 12 tribes.
Right.
So what
Ephraim
is
and
he really
Manasseh.
saying? Like, what is he really talking about? And he's sitting there telling them, like, yo, y'all gonna be down on Broader Market tomorrow? What's up? Tell me what time. I'll pull up. I wish he would come up to us and say something like that. You know he not. Because he gonna be like, who y'all? We ISUPK. He gonna be like, oh, all right. That's all he gonna say, oh, all right. Tell Captain Zari I can say what's up. I'm like, you telling me yourself. We're gonna be on Broader Market. Come pull up. I'll tell
Salakia,
Vocab.
so I thought that devil already had topsoil poured on top of him. I haven't heard about that devil in years.
Yeah, I know.
Vocab alone.
Vocab, right? Yeah. Him, who was Polite's boy? What's the other dude name? The one that
Sinetta?
was the one, no, not Sinetta, the one that got caught lacking in the club in the strip club.
Oh man.
You remember what I'm talking about, right?
Sir.
What the hell is his name? Like, I think his name Black Israel or something like that. I gotta look it up. He got, because Cap did a whole special of him on Cross the Line. They pulled a video up of him in the strip club and everything, caught him all the way lacking, hard body. I was like, oh, he was being 7 cons and 10 and moist. I tell you that. I gotta find his name because that was a good one. That happened after trying to remember what debate that was we went to for Captain Zariak. I think it was that one with Shabazz. I think that happened like after that Shabazz debate. After Cap won that one. Remember when he beat Al Shabazz right there in Harlem?
Yeah, sir. The one with the sideways dreads on the side of his head and everything. Yeah. He got a bald head. He got a bald head like Sim from Street Fighter with a bunch of dreads stuck in one side of his damn head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Millie Vanilli. Yeah.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah.
Our people are finished, man.
Yo, I
Our
can't.
people is
Yo,
still like this, sir. If I could run with it a little bit,
go
our
ahead.
people, if blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the true Israelites of the Bible, if you do not get into the ISUPK or follow the ISUPK and learn these law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, you are going to be wiped off of this planet, and it's going to be a horrible, very horrible death. We witnessing them every day. Hey, sir, 4 more planes than crash, right? I'm trying to get my Passover. I'm trying to get my Passover booked, right? And I don't know how I'm going. Is we going to rental? Is we going to get a rental?
We driving there.
Yeah, we going to get a rental? Like, what the, like this isn't no game. This is no game no more. I yield, sir.
No sweat. Yeah, it's heavy. I didn't realize all these planes was coming down and crashing. It's crazy because I covered one. One crashed right on the interstate in Houston, Texas. It was like one of them little private charters, though. It was like one of the private planes, but he crashed like bad. That was a bad accident on the interstate. But that all comes down to not keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. And if you're not keeping these law, statutes, and commandments, you're not going to have the protection of the Lord. You still on?
Yeah.
All right. Give it to me from the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hast hearkened not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
These curses is going to chase you down until it overtakes you and destroy you, because you don't want to listen. You want to keep pleasing your flesh. You want to keep smoking them goddamn cigarettes. You want to keep sleeping with them whores and paying them for their service. No, Israel, that's not the way. The Lord is going to destroy you along with these heathens. You understand? Continue.
To keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
The Most High didn't ask you. This was not a request. This was not a strong suggestion. This was not a favor. He told you, do these law, statutes, and commandments. Do what the hell I'm telling you to. It's like your father telling you to get up out that bed and get ready for school. And why you ain't take that garbage out last night? Get your ass up, get ready for school, and take this garbage out before you go to school. Do what the hell I'm telling you to do. That's what the Most High is saying. Keep my law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? He almost sounded like Will Smith when he smacked Chris Rock. When he tell you, like, keep these sins out your mother-loving mouth and do my goddamn law, statutes, and commandments. I just told you to do it. Now do it. Do what the hell I'm telling you to do.
So you say how you smacked Chris Rock?
Yo, that was staged too. All that was staged. How about I looked at a video footage from 30 years ago, the same exact setup, but it was a white comedian on stage, and a black dude with a suit went on stage and did the same thing Will Smith did. And sat down and said the same exact thing. That was all scripted.
Sir, scripted or not, I mean, that was one hell of a slap. And if your father slapped you like that, you got to come in.
He kept the palm on. Get my wife's name out your mother-loving mouth. What? He was telling them boys to the slap. When you smack somebody, you supposed to. You ever watch that new competition Dana White got with the people getting slapped to sleep?
The slap challenge. Yeah, these devils. Yeah, the slap challenge.
That's how you slap them off. That's how you slap somebody. You slap them to headbanger. It's 3 hits. The slap, him hitting his head on that table, and him hitting the floor. That's what you call a slap. When you slap him, bang, lights go out. Boop. Night. That's a slap. That's what we get when we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and the Lord give us hypersyphilis or ultra gonorrhea because we don't listen. Those are part of those curses because we don't listen. These white people and these heathens want to be part of the Bible so bad. I promise you, if they read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, they'll stay the F out this book. I guarantee it. They don't want no parts of this.
Salakia, sir, if I may, right? So Captain Yatazak, our man's Captain Yachty down in Texas just had some devils worshiping the brothers in Texas saying, can we please come serve your black God? Can we please come serve the Christ? And they had to say we didn't want nothing to do with you. Clip all over Facebook right now. Because even these heathens understand. Some of these heathens understand that they're being pursued and they're being destroyed. Some of these heathens understand they're getting destroyed more than our people. Our people still think that America.
That's happening in Texas. The Lone Star State is one of those most Jim Crow states, like next to Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana.
Yeah, next to Mississippi.
Yeah, they all right there. They all run along that Mason-Dixon line.
Yes, sir. And so some of them, but you can see some of these heathens, they recognizing the curses more than our people. Our people still think that they're gonna get generational wealth in America. $37 trillion debt.
Yeah, I don't understand that. They're talking about Bitcoin and generational wealth. Don't you see Babylon is falling? California was on fire. The fire moved across town. The fire crossed Sunset Boulevard, nigga.
Right.
What does that tell you? The fire said, I'm crossing the street. I just burnt your whole city up. Gotta go.
Right.
And they couldn't figure it out.
All the way to San Diego.
Boulevard and said, I'm going this way. I'm gonna burn you up. This wasn't no average
No.
brush fire. This was your whole block went up. I'm talking about cars, houses, everything. Like Final Destination, and I'm going this way. Yeah, I'm just
A
going
whole
everything in sight.
apocalypse.
I'm talking about to the
A
point
whole
where
apocalypse, sir.
all the people that I'll be sports capping with that live on the West Coast and stuff, they wasn't in the podcast lately because of those wildfires. Because they had to move around for survival. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them was our people. You feel me?
Right.
Again, they gonna get it too. Because if they don't keep these law, statutes, and commandments, they're gonna face judgment. As much as I want to save all of our people, we're not going to be able to save everybody. And Commander General Yohanna, God bless this brother for finding us and waking us up and allowing us to see the truth through the men that he raised up. You get what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I don't know where I'd be right now if I didn't have this. You understand? And this is why these law, statutes, and commandments is important. That's why I'm glad I got this brother sitting next to me, because if it wasn't for this brother, Kashak wouldn't have found the truth.
Right.
If it wasn't for the Most High allowing his brother to see it. You get what I'm saying? And Kashak wouldn't have been able to stay on me until I found it. Like this is really a each one teach one situation, because we have to help each other up, and we have to help raise each other up in order to survive. And as long as we get stronger by staying together, sticking together, and getting stronger together, we'll be strong enough to help pick other people up and do the same thing. But we have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and set the example. We have to lead by example, because you already know we done tried to get our friends and our family into this, and they look at us like we crazy, like we got 3 heads and 8 eyeballs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because all they see is the old us. All they see is the us that was gang banging and hustling and getting high and stuff. That's all they see. But now that we're not doing that no more, they don't know how to look at us or how to carry us. Which is why we have to stay diligent and stand 10 toes down on this business when it comes to these law, statutes, and commandments, and not stray away. Like, y'all don't even know. I'm excited this week because I'm going to finally start. I'm doing Sabbath service Saturday. I ain't say nothing to my camp leader. I ain't say nothing to nobody. I'm just going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm ecstatic. I got the prayers and everything. I'm just waiting on one more thing. And then when I get some money, I'm going to order the horn. I'm going to get a horn because I need the horn. You know what I'm saying? But I'm starting Sabbath service. I'm souped up.
I'll be in there with you, sir.
When I get it printed, when I get the prayers printed up, I'm gonna make sure all of y'all in the school get copies so y'all can study and learn the prayers. So whenever we go to headquarters, we could really keep along with the brothers when we're doing a Sabbath or when we're doing a High Holy Day.
Most High in Christ, sir.
God. All right, let's see where we at. God, let's see. Let's go down to verse 60. We're going to do verse 60 and 61. Deuteronomy 28th chapter.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt.
He's going to bring all the diseases of Egypt to America. Remember, he had little simple stuff like a whole bunch of locusts. Even Commander General Yohanna was talking about that on Black Watch one day about swarms of locusts and frogs and stuff. These are that's like having 1 million flies flying around. They don't do nothing, but they're a nuisance. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But people don't realize that's a plague. Mm-hmm. Just like, what about those bugs that we had that was they don't do nothing, but they was just out of nowhere with the little red belly and the wings, and they just float around on everything. Mm-hmm. They was a nuisance. They was just popping up out of nowhere. And then we was having swarms of cicadas. Cicadas is deadly. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't pay attention. The Most High will bring pieces of nature that you've never seen before. Mm-hmm. Continue.
Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of,
Mhm.
and thou shalt cleave unto thee.
You're gonna cleave to the Most High when He start bringing these plagues out, all these swarms of frogs and locusts and cicadas and stuff. And y'all can't do nothing about it because they so heavy in the air you can't breathe because you don't want to swallow a bug because these bugs might be poisonous. Go to 61.
Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law.
Monkeypox, COVID-19, RSV. You're gonna get plagues that's not in the book. You understand? Super gonorrhea, ultra syphilis. You know what I'm saying? AIDS remix. They done remixed the remix. Like when did God turn into a DJ? He over here scratching and remixing diseases and just sending them on down. Like, here, try this out. And 7 pills ain't gonna fix this one. You know what I'm saying? Continue.
Them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
People don't understand. The Lord is not playing with y'all. The Lord is coming for blood. And He's coming for your heads. And I keep saying it, but y'all don't want to listen. Heads will roll. If you don't want to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, heads will roll. You understand what I'm saying? The Lord is coming and He's not playing. And He coming with that double-edged sword too, with His fresh garment on. He gonna wear a fresh garment just to get your blood soaked in it. He's not playing. And He gonna train us to do the same thing. And I can't wait. Lord, allow it. I'm about to start hitting the gym and lose this weight. I'm gonna try to the best of my abilities because I need to get back in training shape. You know why? Because I see the end is near. I see we're in the latter days. I need to prepare. You understand? I need to prepare for real. We'll go down to verse 64 when you're ready.
Right.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Israel has been scattered among all the people in the world, right? We were scattered upon all these heathen nations. And you know what these Christians try to say? These Christians try to sit there and say, oh, we part of y'all because it's black people in my country that grew up there. Yeah, because we were scattered there, dummy. That don't mean we part of you. Like that video I played last night with that little young, beautiful potential Ruby. She was a perfect example of what Proverbs the 31st chapter exemplified, right? Now she says she's from Canada, but that's geographical. That's not where she originates from. She comes from the seed of her father, and that tender brown skin. I can't put my finger on it. No. She from somewhere. She from somewhere. I promise you, this girl I played in that clip, man. She from some. You know what? I ain't even gonna play around with you. I'm gonna play the clip. Real quick sidebar. I got to. I'm gonna play it real fast. Where is that? Yes, here we go. Real quick.
Time until I'm ready to fulfill those responsibilities. I didn't think it. The highest level of education completed was high school. I decided not to go to college, and I said I'm single, right? Another.
Yeah. Why she is the most feminine female on Fresh and Fit. It certainly grabbed attention of many people. A lot of myths about her. Let's dive in.
Years old. I'm from Canada. The highest level of education completed was high school. I decided not to go to college.
Where do you find a good woman?
Oh, what was the question?
That wasn't a question.
No,
you're talking to talk too.
Church.
What about you?
I mean, I don't leave the house that much, but
We could
when
tell.
I do,
Wow.
I listen to live jazz music.
Okay.
I play sports on the beach. I play a lot of sports, so maybe. I go to the farmer's market on Sundays.
Okay.
I go to church.
Nerd.
Don't give too much info.
She's telling you where to find them.
Yeah,
She's telling you where to find them.
I really don't know where to find them.
The library.
What about you?
Do you have girlfriends?
Okay.
Got into it.
What about you?
I don't have many guy friends, but the ones that I do have, it's either because they're effeminate or we just don't have the same values, so we'd be totally incompatible if we dated.
Okay. When you say they don't have the same values, what specifically?
Well, they don't want the same things. Like, I want to live in the countryside. I'm looking to settle down. For me, like, outlooks matter very much.
Okay.
So I couldn't be with somebody where philosophically we're totally different.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So they're effeminate and they don't have the same, I guess, ambitions that you do relationship wise.
Yeah, but I also just don't have many guy friends.
Okay.
Like, I have like maybe one or two.
Okay. What about
Real quick. I just had to play that real quick because that right there is a prime example of Proverbs the 31st chapter. That little young thing. I'm trying to tell you, Mama, so she make me want to go start a gym membership. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm joining the gym next week. As soon as I got the dollars to join the gym, I'm about to get right. Y'all know what's about to transpire. That just restored my faith that they do exist out here in the world. Actually, I thought all humanity was lost with these whores and these 304s, but there is a potential Ruby out there in the world. We just gotta find a way to get to them, bring them in the truth.
You know that, Salakia, sir. You know they got to be out here. You know if Isaiah 4:1 gonna come to pass, and you know it's still some righteous ones. A bunch of them out here for righteous men.
Like you say though, we run across a lot of rockheads, and we gotta chisel and mold and shape them into the ruby. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
a rare occasion you bump into one that actually already carries the potential of being a ruby. All you gotta do is just bring her in the truth and gear the law, statutes, and commandments into her life. It's like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that makes it
we're not
all the more worthwhile. That right there, I just had to show that real quick as an example. Like, oh man, woo-wee, 20 years old, a virgin. I thought that
she a virgin. Oh, she a virgin, sir.
Salaki. Yes, nigga, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, she has very great potential.
Yes, nigga, yes.
She has very great potential.
Very. Don't go outside. Don't have no guy friends. Spends her days in the house, or she plays a lot of sports on the beach. Wants to live in the countryside, take guidance, and be a wife and have children. She goes to the farmers market and the library on Sundays. That's about as outside as she is. Yeah.
You know what's heavy about that, sir, that you bring out, right? If we could form a lot of sisters to become like that if we stop laying with 304s. If we even stop just giving them attention. Like, stop giving them attention. You giving a 304 attention, you're going to get super chlamydia, you're going to get super AIDS, you're going to be put on child support and lose all your money. You're going to wind up in super drama. If you're a simp, she's going to take all your money and give it to another man. Like, just stop giving them attention.
It's like when you get hooked on drugs. Them drugs are so damn delicious, It's hard, I'm used to I grew up on 304s. You feel me? I was raised on those. I used to pay for. Yeah, I used to pay for those. I used to pay to play. I don't do that no more. I've turned my life around.
Right. I did it a lot of times my damn self when I was in the world.
Yeah, sometimes we just paying them to leave.
Right. That's all it
is. Oh man, hold on. Let me pick up where we left off at. Where was that?
64.
Go ahead.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other.
We've been scattered among the four corners of the earth to be punished by being placed among heathens, and we're either gonna steadfast keep the law, statutes, and commandments so the Lord can save us, or we're gonna learn these heathen customs which we are not permitted to do and continue to sin, and then we're gonna get punished along with the heathen. Continue. And there thou shalt serve other.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
This is why King Solomon was wrong. It wasn't wrong for him to have 700 wives and 300 concubines. He was wrong for laying with heathens. He laid with a lot of heathens. And in the scriptures it say the main reason why the Lord didn't want us to lay down with heathens is because they will take our heart away from the Lord and it will cause us to worship other gods. That's why it's not good to lay with white women, because then we're going to start worshiping Caesar Borgia. That's why it's not good to lay with Asian women. We're going to start worshiping Buddha. You know, it's not good to lay with East Indian women because we're going to start worshiping Dionysus and Shiva and whatever else. You know, they got 613 different gods. You know, and this is why we're not permitted to lay with these heathens. And it's like what Captain Tazariak said the other night in Across the Line. It's not that there's not beautiful heathens out there. There are some heathens that are beautiful looking women, but it's just not permitted for us to lay with them. You know, just like you can flavor up the hell out of some shrimp or some pork and make it taste good, but just because we make it taste good don't mean we're allowed to eat it. You know, we're not saying that you can't make it flavorful and delicious. It's just that it's unlawful for us to put in our bodies. You understand? We're just not allowed to have it. Just like these heathen women with these bad looking bodies. I ain't gonna hold you. So I've seen some that is this East Indian in my doctor's office. I'm tempted to ask her who her father is just to make sure. Because she's
Salaki, sir. A lot
just to
of
make sure. It might be just her mother. It might be just her mother, but I just gotta. And she live in the trenches like me, so I gotta check to make sure. You know.
Salaki said that's what got Steve McNair jammed up. I said that in my class the other day. Steve McNair was into them East Indians. And I mean, I never could ever picture one of them being violent a day of my life. And you know, she was so mad at Steve McNair because he wouldn't leave the sister who was his number one wife. She got mad and just knocked Steve McNair's head off when he was asleep. And then, and that's how you know she ain't violent. She did it when he was asleep, and then she offed herself into his arms. Lovers triangle. Lovers triangle. Them heathens, they think different, man. If you mess around and you break a heathen woman's heart, man, it ain't gonna be she just throw hot grits on you or she call the cops on you or something. It's gonna be something real different. She ain't gonna be able to.
My sisters, that's kind of crazy like that too, because close friend of mine, you know, she a Levite. You know, she a little crazy in the head because she'll tell you real smooth, like she'll be like, I love you. And I love you so much that if you think you're going to cheat on me, I will set this bed on fire with you and me in
it. Right. Them sisters is just following the ways of heathens. Them sisters that's crazy, that's Riri like that. That's because they got the mark of the beast on them.
I ain't messing with them.
Yeah, set it on fire. Yeah, she don't go get her nutty ass in class and learn some discipline.
And see, that's another thing that we bring out in class when we try to teach our people not to lay down with other nations and for our sisters not to be whores, because think about it. We brought it up before. These sisters will lay with other brothers and lay with multiple men, and you don't understand. You're sharing yourself with these men, and they're sharing a piece of them in you. So you're taking in fractions of their spirit, each one's spirit, and then women wondering why they suffer from bipolar disorder and Stockholm syndrome and PTSD. In layman's terms, these bitches is crazy. And they don't understand why, because you done took on so much semen from different men that you done inserted different spirits upon you. And that's heavy. This is more than physical. You really took on other men's spirits as a part of your essence. And now you got this crazy nigga, you got this nice one, you got this wild one, you got pieces of all these men into you, and now you acting nutty as hell. Go ahead.
I noticed with some of the heathens, they want you to take on their customs, but they not so fast to convert to what you're doing or your customs.
Right.
And that's a problem within itself.
Right. And the reason why that is because it's been drilled into them by their parents for so many years from childhood up. Think about Asians. These are very peaceful and docile women. But once you lay with them, they want you to take on their family's customs very, very strongly because their parents' opinion and how their parents view them and judge them is very important to them in their life because that's how they were raised. You get what I'm saying? Especially their father. You know what I'm saying? Why you think Jeezy had to get away from Genie Ma? Like that's one of the main reasons why young Jeezy had to get away from his rib. That's why young Jeezy had to get away from Genie Ma because she was pushing her family's customs on him so much that it was driving him nuts. Like, yo, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? To the point where like he a street nigga for one. You're not gonna effeminize him or that's just not gonna fly. He gonna tolerate but so much. And that's any black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. And that's why it's important for us to not just learn these laws, statutes, and commandments, but to follow them. And it's detrimental to our health that we learn how to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because if not, we're gonna be lost. Go down to verse 68. We're gonna end the class off with that precept.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Whoa! I thought this was a one-time thing. I thought we came in here for a business opportunity. They said we was brought into Egypt again in ships. You got to remember the definition of Egypt means bondage. America is the second Egypt. We was brought into Egypt again, meaning the United States of America, in bondage. And that was only because they tricked and unalived 77.2 million of our native Indian brothers and sisters and children. Because this was their land, honestly, outright. They didn't need the oppressor and still don't. Never did. I wonder how that would have worked out if Christopher Columbus never would have came here. I wonder what that would have meant for us. Because remember, we was under Pharaoh's rule until Moses and the Most High freed us. And then we wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. And then the Most High got tired of our BS and he opened the ground up and took us up. Know what I mean? And started over. I wonder where we would be now. You understand? Like, will we still be in Goshen? Will we still be in Israel? There will be no Palestine. There would be no Saudi Arabia. There wouldn't be no. I mean, you still have Jordan, but it wouldn't be Saudi Arabia, Palestine, and Iraq, and all of that. All of that, and Israel was part of the northern and the southern kingdoms, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead, Mama.
So that's all our land. Saudi Arabia too is the part of Israel.
Hell yeah! Think about it. We didn't just have Israel. We had the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. That was a large kingdom of our people. That's why when we had that split was more than just a split. Why do you think Palestine is at war with Israel over that land?
Palestine land is our land.
Why do you think Palestine is in war with our land, with Israel? Why do you think Iraq and Iran and all of them is in war with the United States? They're part of all of that's together. All of that is the northern kingdom. Israel's the southern kingdom.
Right. The land that's passed. So that land basically that's going out towards Palestine was where all the northern kingdom was, and Saudi Arabia and Dubai and all of that.
All the way up
to the land.
All the way up the Nile. All the way up the Nile.
And that's beautiful land. Beautiful land.
Yeah. That was us.
That's the Garden of Eden.
Yep.
That's the Garden of Eden. Everybody know.
Damn right. All right, go ahead. Finish reading that precept.
By the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
We're not going to see our land no more again until we gather together like a Zephaniah 2:1. Until we come together and learn and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, we will not see our homeland. Israel's getting bombed to piss left and right now. Palestine is getting bombed to smithereens left and right now. It ain't going to be nothing left. But you know what?
Oh, so,
That's fine. I'm good with that.
sir.
We'll be able to start over. Go ahead.
Yeah, and don't Ukraine, 500,000 Ukrainians got bombed to death like last week by Russia. 500,000.
Hey, remember that's white on white problem. They ain't got nothing to do with us. That's that's white people problems. They ain't us.
Damn right.
This precept. Go ahead, read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Meaning we're going to be slaves to the point where we're going to have yokes of iron on us and shackles, to the point where it's not going to be physical shackles on us. They're going to be mental shackles, like we're mentally shackled now, unaliving one another, hurting one another, and no man will save us. The native Indians were the only ones that tried to fight for us when we got brought over here on ships, and they got unalived by the Spaniard and the white man. You understand? And this is why this all Babylon is falling. This is why Babylon will fall. This is why these heathens will get done. And the Most High will make sure we rise again. But we have to gather together to do that. You understand? Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for scripture breakdown. Pay your tithes, pay your tithes, pay your tithes. We got the Lord's annual 56 Passover coming up April 7th to April 14th in Atlanta, Georgia. Make sure y'all get those rooms. Book y'all way of transportation. Be careful if you're flying. Be careful if you're flying.
Right. Yeah, airplanes ain't looking too good.
Not too good at all.
Airplanes. you want to catch a flight and fall right out the damn sky, upside down on the runway.
Damn right. And with that, that's my time, Israel. To the next episode. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.